This country holds unprecedented promise and prospectivity. Our people, our majestic natural wonders, our abundant natural resources. Mineral resources fuel the growth of hungry developing nations. Mobile phones, computers, and even your TV contains a variety of metals. Demand for these metals exceeds supply, and prices at record highs. The Philippines holds tremendous mineral wealth potential. With this opportunity comes responsibility. Responsibility to ensure its people reap the benefits of this natural wealth for our land, our air, and our people.
We have a very big potential when it comes to exploration and operation in the Philippines. Because number one, we are mineralized. Number two, we have a big comparative advantage compared to other countries. We are very close to China, we are very close to Japan, Taiwan. These are the big markets.
The Philippines is situated in a region economically and industriously emerging, ready to capitalize on the global market demand for mineral commodities.
To my mind, the main reasons for the Philippines to be a very attractive place for mining activities is threefold. One is rich mineral resources, which is God-given. As they say, it's a natural blessing. Second, of course, is the fact that we are very, very close to our markets as China, Japan, Korea. And thirdly, because the Philippines has its house in order in terms of the rules that govern mining.
The Philippines lies within the Pacific Ring of Fire. On a geological aspect, this represents an enormous potential of natural wealth.
Actually, we're fifth most mineralized country in the world. First or second when it comes to gold, third when it comes to copper and nickel, and the potential is still very high. Most of our areas are still unexplored.
Said that we had about close to $850 billion worth of minerals in the ground. That's 04. So we're really way over $1 trillion worth of minerals in the ground. Of areas that are mineralized, it's about 30% of the entire country. So of that 30%, which is 9 million hectares, only 0.32% of that is actually under development now.
Geologic potential Philippines in top 5 in the world.
As an archipelago with 7,107 islands, it has easy access by sea, road, and air, thereby possessing all the ingredients for successful foreign direct investments.
The maximum distance to a port in the Philippines, wherever you stand, is 100 kilometers.
You can have a mine anywhere in the Philippines. And because we have such lengthy coastlines, your mine is probably not more than 100 kilometers from the sea.
Again, shipping costs becomes a lot more reasonable when they extract the minerals from the Philippines and then send them to either Japan, Seoul, or a coastal city of China. That makes mining in the Philippines even more competitive.
With capacity to adapt to national standards of the law, mining companies are flourishing and applying their triple bottom line formula of financial and operating performance, environmental stewardship, and empowerment of communities.
It's not just foreign investors that we're looking at, it's also Philippine investors. They're investing in their own country, in their own mining projects, and they're moving very well and making a lot of money. And there are still opportunities for others.
Oceanic Gold is the first recipient of our FTAA license agreement. Because of this, they can operate 100%. Oceanic Gold came in and we're very happy on this development. They're operating their mine in Nueva Vizcaya.
Listed on the Toronto, Australian, and New Zealand stock exchanges, with strong foundations through their operations in New Zealand. They are embarking on their organic growth strategy into Southeast Asia with the Didipio Gold and Copper Project in northern Luzon, Philippines.
We're entering a transformational time for Oceana Gold with a strong management team that can deliver real growth potential in the company.
At this point in time, the expected mine life of Didipio is 16 years. Over the first 6 years, we expect to be producing 100,000 ounces of gold annually and about 18,000 tons of copper annually.
Entering the Philippines with a large-scale investment of $185 million for its gold and copper project in Didipio. It is expected to begin production in 2013.
It's a high quality, high grade, low cash cost, long mine life project that will deliver great value both for the company and for the Philippines community.
Local companies alike are cashing in on the benefits of higher metal prices. The country's top gold producer, who registered a record high 3.98 billion pesos, or nearly $100 million in its core net income. A 72% jump from the previous year in the 9 months of 2011.
Philex is the largest Philippine mining company in terms of revenue. We also have a sizable workforce, more than 2,000 full-time employees.
Philex was born in 1955 to engage primarily in mining activities in their flagship block cave in Benguet Province in northern Luzon.
Philex also holds the distinction of being the longest continuously operating mine, having operated the Padcal mine.
Continuously in operation since 1958, producing 5.3 million ounces of gold and 2 billion pounds of copper to date. The company is exploring areas surrounding the Padcal mine to prolong the life extent for maximum cash flow. Strong nickel prices are supporting the growth of one of the Philippines' largest nickel mining companies. Newly listed Nickel Asia Corporation started shipping ore in 1977 from the Rio Tuba mine and has now expanded their operation to 4 mining sites around the country.
So there's a long history of lateritic nickel mining by the group in the country. Currently, we account for about 1/2 of the production of lateritic nickel ore in the Philippines. And we also have quite a large market share of ore imports into Japan and China, roughly about 20%.
When one refers to the Nickel Asia project as being a leader, it's really recognizing how well they have performed in all these areas from years back. And if they're leading the pack in that regard, it's because they've managed to stay there long and without issues. So it is possible.
There's so much opportunity that's been created over the years. In fact, if you look at the Forbes list of the richest people in the Philippines, many of them are now engaged in mining.
We're very happy about the development of Nickel Asia. It was first known as Rio Tuba, considered the last frontier of the Philippines. And they have been there since 1975, and they have continued to expand.
Where the national government has failed to reach and develop the remote and impoverished communities in far-flung areas such as the Nueva Vizcaya province, mining companies are able to inject development, growth, and livelihood among the people in the community.
Development of the Didipio project, we have built a road to access the mine site. This has opened up the area for the community to conduct their business and provided access for communities along that road as well.
There'll be other opportunities for small businesses and we'll give preferences to locally owned small businesses.
We work closely with the local government through development of local plans to incorporate them into the development of the project.
The DCDI has been the development partner of the company since 2006. This association is composed of dedicated men and women of the DPU who took the challenge of managing development programs funded by the company for the community of the DPU.
Dinaited na iti barangay ang makitkitan ti barangay naiangat na met ti panagbiag ti tattao nga dagiti bumarangay.
In Benguet in the 1930s, the discovery of minerals led to the gold rush and subsequent flourishing of mining industries in the locality. And to this day, is a key provider of employment in the region.
Felix is a very responsible local mining company. It's one of the biggest local companies that we have now, and it's a world-class mine.
Major mining companies work to create sustainable developments within their mining communities while continuing to explore new opportunities throughout the country. Felix is spending more than $1.8 billion to develop their new Silangan mine in northern Surigao.
The Silangan project has a resource base of 9 million ounces of gold and more than 5 billion pounds of copper. And once that's in production by 2015 at a rate of 30,000 tons per day, it's going to produce 200,000 ounces of gold per year, which is great for Felix, great for Surigao, and great for the country.
There is great growth potential through downstream mining activities. One successful partnership is the Coral Bay Nickel Corporation, which owns and operates the Philippines' first nickel processing plant, using a specialized high-pressure acid leach HPAL process. Nickel Asia Corporation supplies the lateritic nickel ore to Coral Bay.
Coral Bay has been a phenomenal success. It's got 7 years of operations now, and it's doing very, very well, much to the credit of our partners, Sumitomo Metal.
For a process of this kind, it has proven to be one of the most successful HPAL plant in the world, resulting in very profitable operations. Hinging off this success, they have partnered again to develop the country's second HPAL plant to come on stream in late 2013.
The project cost is $1.4 billion, so it's a hefty investment. It will be the single largest investment in the Philippine mineral sector to date, so it is significant in that regard.
The Philippines is not only rich in resources underground. One of its biggest resources is its people. Culturally globalized with a large population of highly educated youth and skilled labor pool.
When I say human resources, you have an educated population. You have a highly trainable population because of their exposure to different influences from around the world.
One of the comparative advantages is actually our manpower. We have the competency, especially good geologists, good mining engineers. We have cheaper labor compared to other countries, and we have substantial supply of labor.
Communication is a big asset of the Philippines because of our English speaking capability.
The biggest challenge facing the Philippines is to move the economy to a higher level of growth and job creation. Mining companies continue to be a magnet for the migration of people with expertise, seeking well-paid jobs, and supporting the growth of jobs in rural areas.
In the area of job opportunity, some people say we're nearly 100 million Filipinos.
Filipino geologists can write English reports, they can communicate with their partners in English, and they look Asian, So they can also meld very well with the local population. It's a very, very big advantage.
But what is very important is providing educational facilities, especially to people in the mountains, in the highlands, which is very difficult to reach from the local authorities, but which the mining companies would have accessibility to, because that's where most of the minerals are found.
The positive impacts of the mining industry in communities are enormous, providing power, water, roads, medical services, education, and even technology to local population, as well as indigenous people who are in need.
I would like to think that with the development of the industry, a lot of the issues in terms of improving lives of people in the countryside, in terms of addressing poverty, would be undertaken. I like to paraphrase Nelson Mandela, who says, in order to address poverty, you must create wealth. And that wealth goes back to helping those who need it and therefore address poverty.
Na kahit 50 years old na, may pagkakataon pa ako makakuha ng aking kurso para matulungan ang aking pamilya at ang iba ko pang katutubong Palawan. Sa ngayon po ako ay graduating sa Bachelor of Science in Agriculture Business sa Western Philippines University, Rio Tuba Extension School. Maraming salamat po sa RTN.
The quality basic education received by our students make them at par and competitive when they enroll in other colleges and universities. Thus, a lot of them are now professionals, employed, and with stable jobs.
And therefore, they play a very important role in giving access to these deprived people up there, mainly in the highlands, to give them a chance to catch up.
With the scholarship given by AMEA, I was able to finish college. And then after graduation, I was hired by the company to be one of their staff nurses. Since I'm well compensated, I was able to send my younger brother and sisters to college. And I am also helping my parents financially.
The company has been running a scholarship program for university graduates in the Nueva Vizcaya province for a number of years now, and we've had over 150 graduates from the program. Some of those graduates are now working for us.
I belong to a very big family with 8 siblings. My parents are both illiterate and they could not support our education. So I was lucky, I was granted the scholarship, and now I was able to finish the degree Bachelor of Science in Information Technology.
So what we're doing really with the mining and through the development of the DPO is what we call transferring resource capital, what's in the ground, to human capital.
Aside from the natural resources in the ground, the people of the Philippines hold the key for progression. Companies embark upon social development and management programs for betterment of their people.
We have adopted the 4 core values, which is the health, education, livelihood, and public infrastructures.
From their farm to their market, they could use public transport to bring their own products to their market. The infrastructure being provided at present is geared towards that sustainability. So by providing them good roads, all-weather roads, they will become self-reliant.
Everything is free. We have these facilities given to us. Our textbooks are also updated. If I may share to you, just 2 weeks ago, I was able to purchase bulk of instructional materials for our newly opened preschool.
I think one of the legacies of Philex Mining Corporation is providing good quality education to the people living in the camp, and I for one can attest to it. I think I will never be here where I am right now without Philex.
I would attribute it to the sound and complete education that Philex Mines Elementary School has given since its erection in 1961.
More than 1/3 of the population of the Philippines lives in poverty. 80% of the country's poorest people live in the rural areas. Mining companies are catering to the needs of people in far-flung areas by investing in healthcare and housing needs for those less fortunate.
Most of these municipalities don't have a health worker, not even a midwife to help deliver babies into the world. So your infant mortality rates are so high. So mining companies can bring in their doctors and nurses to help provide that.
The hospital has been here since 1978. It has been ready here for 33 years. We handle about, at the outpatient department, 150 patients per day, and for the admitted patients, we have 30 to 50 patients per day.
Ang RTN Hospital po ay mula noong 2003 hanggang sa kasulukuyan ay libre po lahat ng katutubo sa.
The Nickel Asia Corporation has changed the landscape of the community here at Ryutuba. A total of 200 houses have been built so far, and it could be found among the 6 indigenous communities here in our place.
Malaking tulong ito sa aming mga katutubo kasi yung dating bahay namin na sira-sira ay napaganda.
The Philippines is very conscious of its commitment not just to national environmental laws, but its commitment to international environmental laws.
From an environmental perspective, our Mining Act does cover a significant number of things that go beyond even the standards that have been set by laws in the other countries.
Companies that are flourishing in the Philippines are those that have not only delivered on their environmental commitments, but are going above and beyond what is required by law and regulation.
Philex and companies that have operated so far are clearly demonstrating that they are responsible, that they are looking after stakeholder interests, that they're looking after our environment.
But more than just, I think, the profits, what is admirable and remarkable about Philex is the way they've taken care of the environment. This is a perfect example of a responsible miner.
Companies are sowing the seeds of green in mining through progressively rehabilitating denuded forests. One such company is Philex Mining, who has spent $6.3 million in 2010 alone through its reforestation and watershed management programs.
We install waterworks projects just like what we did in the communities of Alang and Torre area to support their gardening and farming activities.
For the reforestation projects, Philex maintains a tree nursery where the seedlings are produced.
We were able to successfully reforest more than 2,000 hectares.
We are producing about 300,000 seedlings a year.
Inside the Philex mining claim, they have successfully reforested more than 6 million assorted tree species and continue to maintain these forests year after year.
There were a lot of challenges in the Philippines for the mining industry. If you want to be in this business, you need to be a responsible miner.
The Philippines belongs to one of those countries with mega diverse biodiversity. And it is to the interest of everyone to keep the balance between development and the environment. Therefore, it is imperative that mining companies are conscious to keep this balance at all times.
Well, mine rehabilitation is a feature of the mining laws in the Philippines. We all have to rehabilitate, and we do it on a progressive basis because we mine by parcels. As the mining is finished in one parcel, we move ahead to rehabilitate, so we don't have to do the whole thing all at one time when the mine closes down.
The company strictly adheres to the principle of progressive mine rehabilitation as a matter of policy, and through its innovation of using large planting materials, it has achieved a survival rate of more than 80%.
For example, for nickel, practically nothing grows on nickel-infested or nickel-mined areas because there's a lot of iron, about 30 to 40%. Nothing will grow. But what grows are very nice bonsai natural trees. After mining, the soil will have to be replaced. So actually, after the mining process, you will see a better environment.
Coral-based downstream processing plant has the highest standard of environment protections, where the flora and fauna is still in balance and flourishing.
The company maintains a central nursery that continues to provide for the planting materials of our tree planting activities.
We've planted many thousands of trees, and we have a commitment over a long period of time to plant many hundreds of thousands of trees in the future.
Oceana Gold is committed to maximizing the benefits and minimizing the impact of their mining operations.
The company has always been a big supporter of agroforestry farming within the communities.
Even before the development stage, they were already doing some work in terms of community development, social development projects, and reforestation program.
As the President Aquino said, we're open for business.
So can you imagine, with very little work, very little money and exploration,
Promise to protect the investment of foreign investors in this country.
maybe 5 years from now, after all this exploration, you'll see a real powerhouse.
So we have the people to move mining projects forward.
We will remain committed to what I call best practices. What we were talking about is what's the right thing to do.
I think the potential of the Philippines can be summed up in 4 Gs. It's good, if not great. It's golden, and will even be green.
Mining has the ability to convert the country's mineral wealth into a national treasure, giving equal responsibility to the principles of people, profit, and planet, for the well-being of our future generations.